We've got a familiar looking FK8 in the workshop today. It's Jason's car and he's back for an interior makeover. Welcome back to another video. So today we've got Jason's FK8 back in the workshop with us. Jason's car has previously been featured quite heavily on our channel, where we've installed the Jays Racing front end along with a lot of the modifications underneath his bonnet. Today we're going to be looking at the interior. So we've got the Jays Racing carbon fibre dash trims to go in, along with a Jays Racing carbon fibre steering wheel. There's also a special little treat when we come to the interior. Once we've finished up on the interior of the car, we're going to be looking over the suspension. So today we've also got Cusco front and rear anti-roll bars, Powerflex front lower arm bushes, and a set of rigid collars to go on the car. Once that's all installed, we'll then be carrying out an alignment, making sure the car's driving nice and straight. Ryan's going to be installing the parts for us today, so I'm going to get the car loaded up onto the ramp and then we'll start unboxing and seeing what parts we've got to install. So while the car's on the ramp now, gives us a chance to look over the parts. So first up, we've got the Jays Racing steering wheel. Now this is very much an OEM steering wheel, but with a bit of added carbon. So you'll see that on here, it's the same OEM style of the way the two suede materials are coloured, but obviously we've got the carbon at the top and carbon at the bottom with the Jays Racing logo at the bottom there. This again is just going to complement all the work that's gone into the car and completing more of the Jays Racing build. So I'll get this one out of the way and look at some of the dash pieces next. So starting off with the panel that goes around the speedo. Obviously this is right-hand drive in dry carbon, again with Jays Racing logo across the side here. And I think once it's in the car, this is really going to bring it to life. Obviously we've got the false carbon that's in the car currently, but introducing a bit of real carbon in there should really start to make the interior feel that little bit more special inside the car. And talking of making it special, obviously we're trying to complete a full Jays Racing build here, so I've asked Hisaaki,
Hi, Hisaaki from JDM in Japan,
to make a small addition to the carbon that's going into the car. Looking at the side trim now, so passenger side, I actually asked Hisaaki to sign the trim before it's obviously sent out to us. So again in gold, seems to be the theme that Jason's going with on the car. Again, just to complement the whole overall Jays build. So that's the interior carbon parts out the way, and we're going to focus our attention now over to the suspension. To start off with, we've got the Powerflex anti-lift kit. Now these have been really popular for us, and Jason's super excited to have them installed on his car. So these, in conjunction with the rigid collars down there, it should keep the car nice and tight. Once we've dialed in a good alignment on the car, it should just be there keeping the car exactly as we want it. So one product that is extremely underrated are spoon rigid collars. These, for what effect is just washers around subframe bolts, these keep the cars really nice and dialed in. Once you've spent money on putting decent suspension on the car, these are going to keep the car real nice and true and giving you a lot of driver feedback, real precise steering, so highly recommended when carrying out any suspension upgrades. So this little package over here, although it looks like it isn't actually my lunch, but this is another engine mount from Hasport. Unfortunately, the first one that came through was slightly damaged on top, so Hasport sent us another, and again, following on with a gold theme, it is a gold mount. So again, while the car's in with us, we'll get this replaced and the engine bay looking how it should do. So final few pieces will be the Cusco anti-roll bars. We haven't actually fitted in the Cusco variants yet. We've predominantly been doing IBAC and white line. So we're intrigued to see how these are actually going to handle. So as expected, big heavy bars, but they make a tremendous difference when fitted to the car. So install has gone really well and all the parts fitted up as we expected. The dash went in nice and easily. Obviously we had to strip out a fair bit there, but it all clicked into place as OEM fitment would do. In regards to the suspension, that's again gone on nicely and the car aligned up perfectly. So it only really leaves now for me to go and road test the car. Clearly one of the enjoyable parts of the job. So I'll go and get the car road tested and ready to hand back to Jason. The interior is really starting to look the part now with all the carbon accents coming together and really sort of completing the build inside the car. Obviously a special thank you to Hisaaki from J's Racing for signing the dash and making this such a unique build. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button as we've got some really cool content to bring you guys in the coming weeks. We're nearing completion of our own FK8. That's using a Coves sequential and we've moved it over to pneumatic shifting. So we've moved away from the gear lever and onto paddles on the steering wheel. So can't wait to bring you some of the setup of that car and some of the road tests more importantly. If you haven't already, again, leave us a comment below, hit the like button and we'll see you on the next video.
Subscribe. Thank you from Japan.